Breaking news, breaking news. Get it out everywhere.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. October 1st is the day. And myself and Austin Greene here say hello. God bless each and every one of you tuning in. Please get this out, this critical information. October 1st could be the stress test reset. In fact, I have a very important report by the Federal Reserve and the Board of Governors. Now, it's important to note I had a video go viral. The Pope, of course, is moving all Vatican money back to the Vatican Bank outside of the banking system. And guess what date that is, son? October 1st. So again, why October 1st? Why is this the big day? Why is the Board of Governors at the central banks doing a stress test for Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup? The list goes on. And in addition to that, it culminates in the reset of the Shemitah. And of course, the capital controls, I believe, coming to the United States, the economic, financial lockdowns, a debt that could never be paid back, $30 trillion of worthless fiat currency printed into infinity, causing inflation in the United States and the westernized world. So for this report and more, stay tuned. God bless you, son. Thank you for the opening. Looking good today. By the way, 1000x and share this. This is absolutely critical. And by the way, I like it because it's been Austin's birthday weekend this week. So we're having a really good time with him. He just turned 8 years old, and he is such an awesome stud, and he's so smart. So this is the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. This was actually posted August 4th, but I have not heard anyone talk about this yet. And I'll post links after this video so you can read this information for yourself, so you can adequately prepare getting out of the banking system, taking monetary control over your own assets before stress potentially hits the banks, which is obviously what the Federal Reserve Board of Governors is worried about. So let me just show you this here for a minute so you can see this. This is the Federal Reserve Banking System Board of Governors warning about the date, October 1st. Now remember, there was a meme going on with Starbucks. One particular Starbucks was going cashless. It later came out, Starbucks executives said, no, this is not every store. Not every store is going cashless. It was just that one incident. But is that to be believed? Because most of the world is already cashless. If you go overseas to places like Asia, you go to Singapore, which is a place I think is really cool. It's got amazing infrastructure and technology. It's pretty much already cashless. If I go down and try to get a Mai Tai later today, down at some of these hotels, cashless. I've literally tried to give $100 bills and shove it in people's pockets. They won't take it. They say, no, we don't take any cash. It's against our policy. So this is where everything is headed, of course, into the financial reserve, central bank digital currency reset, out of the petrodollar fiat, out of the oil standard, which is now collapsing, into a new transitory, green, weather-focused, energy smorgasbord, where the billionaires still fly their Learjets and still blast SpaceX rockets like they are this weekend. In fact, we're going back to the moon, they said, guys. Even though the engines didn't work a couple days ago and we haven't been back in 50 years, that's as good as we got it here in the United States. But that's another side story I'll report on later. Supposedly, a whole city is about turning out, like 500,000 people, to watch it over this holiday weekend. Federal Reserve Board announces the individual capital requirements for all large banks effective on October 1st. Following its stress test earlier this year, the Federal Reserve Board today announced the individual capital requirements for all large banks. And here's the kicker. Effective on October 1st. Ding, 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 ding. October 1st. When is the Pope moving all of his funds out of the banking system? October 1st. Ding, 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 ding. And again, they won't alert you to the crisis like I am before this goes down. Just like 2008-09. You don't get a memo from the mainstream media. They don't come on camera and tell you, get your money out of the system, we're about to have a bank run, like we had in 2008-09. They wait until after the stock market collapses, then they ask for the bailouts, then millions of Americans go through foreclosure and short sale like we've seen time immemorial. 1929, 2008, 09, 2020, and then a pump artificially to the largest asset bubble that the world has ever seen, hyperinflation in housing, tripling in asset prices, utility bills that have tripled in parts of Europe and the UK as a result of sanctions and food, energy shocks, and crises worldwide. Not to mention a world conflagration in Ukraine, which is a proxy war for the larger war that I believe will be fought against the West with China and the BRICS nations. So leading up to this, grand event. So October 1st is the big day. Now here are some specifics, and again, share this. No one else is talking about this. You're hearing this first. Large bank capital requirements are in part determined by the board's stress test results, which provide a risk-sensitive and forward-looking assessment of capital needs. The large bank capital requirements table shows each bank's total common equity Tier 1 capital requirement, which is made up of several components, including bullet point 1. The minimum capital requirement, which is the same for each firm and is, get this, 4.5%. Let it sink in for a minute. The too big to fail banks only have 4.5% of liquid capital on hand. Let it sink in. Swallow that big pile of barf in your mouth. That's all they got. That's the best that this too big to fail banking system has. 4.5% of liquid assets. If you go to the bank and everyone goes to the bank, ask for their money back, their capital reserve request, they're upping the ante, is only 4.5% by October 1st. Talk about a Ponzi scheme. The stress, this is point 2, capital buffer requirement, which is determined from the stress test results and is at least 2.5%. So they add another 2.5%. So you have 7, 8%, less than 10% of total capital on hand. Now I'll post that link. You can read about it in a moment. This is the stress test. The Board of Governors are up in the ante. Bank of America and these other banks that took trillions of dollars of taxpayer funds in 2009 had to resubmit their application because I don't think that they were meeting the requirement. Let's get to the big part of the story today. It is the sabbatical year called the Shemitah. And all of it is culminating on guess what days? The end of September and October 1st. Ding, 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 ding. Sell everything, sell everything, sell everything, sell everything. The sabbatical year basics. For those of you that don't know what the Shemitah is, some of you may know well, so this could be a refresher course for you. Absolution of loans. That sounds like a financial reset. Yeah. Desisting from all field work, this is biblical by the way, and the spiritual objective of all the above. As soon as the Israelites settled in the Holy Land, they began to count and observe a 7-year cycle. Every cycle would culminate in what they called a sabbatical year, known as Shemitah, literally known and defined as to release. The year following the destruction of the Second Holy Temple was the first year of a 7-year sabbatical cycle. In the Jewish calendar, counting from creation, this was the year 3829, or 68 through 69 CE. On the secular calendar, by counting sevens from then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we see that the next Shemitah year will be the year 5782 after creation, which runs from September 7th, 2021 to the end of September, October 1st. Ding, 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 ding. The observance of Shemitah has several dimensions. In the following paragraphs, they outline it. Give your friend a break. At the end of 7 years, which we're approaching October 1st, again, this is when the Pope's moving that's his deadline, to move billions, $5 billion plus of Vatican funds out of the traditional banking system where he has personal sovereignty over and the Catholic Church does. What I'm telling you guys to do. October 1st, the Board of Governors at the central bank is raising stress test capital requirements, probably because they know it's coming. Again, guys, they can't keep raising interest rates. You really think they're going to do that? No way. They'd collapse the whole system, which is what they want, to reset it into the new one. This is the manner of the release. To release the hand of every creditor from what he has lent his friend, he shall not exact from his friend or his brother because the time of the release for the Lord has arrived. Deuteronomy 15, 1 through 2. So it's an erasure of creditor debt, like a debt jubilee, like I've been warning about, like what Biden's doing with student loans, $500 billion, maybe $1 trillion, a debt jubilee release. Not forgiveness, but a taxpayer bailout for the too big to fail banks that will then cascade like dominoes to mortgages, sovereign debt, treasuries, bank loans, consumer credit, auto loans, and the list goes on. The Shemitah year waives all outstanding debts between Israelite debtors and creditors, or just debtors and creditors in general. Nowadays, a halak, I might not be saying that correctly, mechanism called Prusbul circumvents this loan amnesty. So basically, it's a release of debt culminating in that October 1st, end of September Shemitah. They also take a break from farming. Think about the famines and the food shocks and the grain crisis right now as a result of Biden's sanctions. Again, the ruble stronger than ever. Russia stronger than ever. China stronger than ever, buying all the oil that the U.S. has cut off. So Europeans and UK citizens get screwed with triple energy payments and electricity bills that they can't afford. But again, they want that. Again, by honestly crushing the general citizenry, they can now, through a wealth transfer, introduce socialism and a form of bailouts for the 99% that will be receiving more taxpayer-infused debt in hyperinflationary digitized equivalent programmatic CBDCs in the form of UBI, which will only be bare minimum subsistence wages. You know, like you'll be lucky to live in a rat's nest on UBI. But that's where it's going. That's where all of America is going. I mean, we saw Biden's speech with the dark Hunger Games mural behind him just a couple days ago, an all-out bull charging red. Okay, and he went out there and labeled like 60 million Americans as he quoted, I won't say the word, but he categorized 60 million people in America as a certain group. Where have we seen that before in history? I'm sure you can figure that one out. So they take a break from the land. It is a refocusing event. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details of Shemitah today. You can learn about this. Maybe I'll do an upcoming video. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. But the three takeaways are: Board of Governors, Central Bank, Federal Reserve System issued. This has been out there for a while, but no one's talking about it. October 1st, as the deadline for the stress test and the increase in capital requirements for the too big to fail banks. Only up to what was it? It was like something crazy. What's the actual number? 4.5%? Let's see here. It's 4.5% and a little bit of 2.5% on top. That's it. And in addition to that, the Pope is taking all the funds of the Vatican, moving it to the Vatican Bank outside of the banking system, which I could only assume if there's a bank run and capital controls like Ray Dalio, very famous billionaire hedge fund manager, says there's going to be, who's already exited the United States. See, all the real smart money has already been internationalizing and getting the heck out of the United States during a sovereign debt collapse and default. Everybody knows this on Wall Street except for middle America, which is the last to the party. So don't let this be you. Someone asked me, they're like, Christopher, how do I get out of the banks? Easy. Island Project. Click the link below. Get an Island Project Club. Get in at the private placement. Get in. Don't wait. Get into hard assets, real estate. Get into gold, silver, crypto, blockchain. Take control of your own assets in your own wallet. Do what the Pope and the Vatican is doing. Do what the billionaires are doing. All these people own this stuff. Get into the hard land-backed assets. And in our case, with Island Project, highly specialized beach, oceanfront homes, cash flow producing condos, bug out retreats, land, portable, replicatable, worldwide. This is our flagship in Maui, also Oahu, and we'll be internationalizing extremely aggressively this year and beyond. So you're getting in at the ground floor at the Founders Round. So do both of those things. We have a $1,500 minimum. I'll put a link here and up here in a minute to get into the Island Project Club. Pick your amount. That'll determine how much access you get. Our blueprint, our roadmap, the early bird, all that's coming to the public, blockchain event As a founder with the 30K minimum at the private placement, you get the ultimate. And I have people coming in with a lot more, but that's a bare minimum. You are the founder of the project. You own your real estate, your piece of the rock. And all it is basically the best passive investment in the world. I mean, the whole point is get out of the banks. And then conservation and preservation of what I believe is beautiful land and doing also good work and amazing things for a community. This is happening worldwide that's being devastated by the banking system and politicians in charge that are eradicating the middle class through a hyperinflationary intended wealth transfer. And people can't afford anything anymore. And so we're getting to a point where $1 million won't even buy you a decent home in the United States of America. My grandparents' first house in Long Beach was like $30K, and now it's worth over $3 million. That's inflation. Housing's tripled in many parts of the country. So you've got to get out of assets, and Keely, okay, the key is you got to get out of debt. So everything we're doing has no debt. I'll put the links below, 2 options for you so no one gets left behind. And also as a part of the club, you'll get access to me with a call up to the first 25 per month, personal consult. I can chat with you. A lot of you pitch me like cool business ideas, ask me about your portfolio allocation, what I'm doing personally, where I see the opportunities, get the inside track of Island Project. I'm going to be producing all kinds of content and videos on the ground, show you my expertise of how I'm fractionalizing real estate, what we're doing, how we're creating passive income, and then preservation and conservation of the asset class. No, this isn't timeshares, guys. Timeshares suck. I hate timeshares. We're not doing anything like that. We're just owning and preserving very valuable, hardcore land, which is a lot more valuable than, middle America. And by the way, we've got every billionaire moving into the space now. Jeff Bezos, he's been moving money into a company called Arrived. It's a fractional real estate company that will commoditize all of middle America. Anderson Horowitz just made their largest hedge fund investment, venture capital investment, into another company called Flow. $350 million that is fractionalizing real estate. There's other companies like Picasso that are already fractionalizing, but they're doing a different model. See, they're doing timeshares. They suck. No one's doing what we're doing. I'm much more interested in cash flows, 1000xing our investors, preserving and conserving the best of asset class in the world, and creating a portable, replicatable solution for all of you to combat against the ultimate reset, which is going to have a huge negative impact on all of humanity unless you're smart and prepared. Again, if you bought the dippy dip in 2008-09 and bought all the homes on the cheap and you had liquidity, which Island Project has collectively, along with all of you, you get rich. Same thing in 1929. The wealthiest families emerged and the barons emerged from that period. Same with the tech oligarchs today, which are our new oligarchs here in the United States. All the money was made on the 2001 dippy dip. Then they pumped it. Now they're huge monopolies that are in everything from food to tech to self-driving cars to energy to the internet, social media, e-commerce, the list goes on and on. This is the next major worldwide event, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm Christopher Greene, bringing you the hardcore truth today. Of course, I'm the founder and creator of the Island Project, the first multi-billion-dollar blockchain in the world, taking the best of breed assets, owning those without debt, going worldwide and internationalizing our community for freedom. Because again, we are the new America, ladies and gentlemen. America, Joe Biden is right about this, is just an idea. It's not a place. So if you want to be free, you have to build the new digital Noah's Ark. This is the movement for freedom and liberty moving around the world. You've got to build this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, get in while you can. Also, crypto markets, very much poised for a pump. As this unfolds, do you know what the number one use case for crypto is? Sovereignty of your own money. During a banking collapse, we saw this in Ukraine. What were people doing? Rushing to the bank in a bank run and then putting their funds into assets that they could control. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Island Project, not launched yet. You're getting in the ground floor. All we have is our private round right now and the club. Okay, but all this will be coming in the next year. I'm going to be moving super aggressively on all this, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll also be picking apart opportunities, be very, selective on what we're doing. So very excited about all that. But I believe we're poised not only for that, but major regulatory approval by the banking system and the central banks that are now going to co-opt blockchain. Remember when they said it was a scam? They said that about the internet and social media. Now they're just getting in on it. So what they're doing is they want retail to dump so that they can buy and pump. That's how it works. And that's what we saw in the last bull market. The same thing is going to happen again. So position for the bull. Get ready to ride the wave. Hang 10 with us at the Island Project. I got websites, islandproject.com. Get in there. islandprojectclub.com. Get in there. Get a part of the private group. Get in, okay? The whole point is to get out of the system, just like the Pope, just like the banks are warning, just like the central banks are warning, just like even biblically speaking, the Shemitah warns, and says we're moving into a debt jubilee, and just like Joe Biden is creating an erasure of debt, screwing everybody that actually paid their debt, all the people that slaved away for years, blood, sweat, and tears, paid off 100K, you're just screwed. In fact, you're going to pay for the people that now don't have to pay. So America is in a full-blown end of days, okay, dystopic mess, which almost looks like a fake movie. You know, I couldn't have done the set more metaphorically like Hunger Games than we could have done a couple days ago in Philadelphia. Looked like the movie V for Vendetta. Also, it was a psychological trigger, so be very careful. And remember, politics is fake. It's all an illusion meant to divide and conquer the American people. None of that's real. All the politicians, none of them's going to do anything for you. Okay, they haven't done anything for anyone in years. So we've moved far from the days of Paul Revere, George Washington. In fact, they want to take those statues down. I attended George Washington University. They're saying they want to take down George Washington's face at the university. So this has been an incremental period of point in time where they erase the history of this beautiful republic and America and the liberty and freedom that we so enjoy, and they get rid of all of it. And then you've got a guy that comes on camera and belittles 60 million freaking Americans to their faces. So here's the point. You shouldn't care about any of that. Get out of the system, build a new one. You are the light workers and light warriors. Plus we got God on our side, man, and every knee's going to bow upon his imminent return. So hallelujah for that. And I know a lot of you have told me, you said, Christopher, you know, I prayed about Island Project. I prayed about it, and God, he told me to get in. So I encourage you, pray about it. Seriously, ask him. Don't listen to me. You know in your deepest of deepest hearts that you got to get out of the system and you got to build communities. You're only as strong as your network. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how many business opportunities there are in Island Project, our club, and the private placement? I mean, dude, if you want to make money, I was just talking to a wonderful individual out of Melbourne, Australia. I know he was in Australia. I think it was Melbourne. I just did a little Zoom call with him. And, I mean, this guy was awesome, dude. He's in the fashion hair industry. He runs all these companies, really sharp-looking guy, and I've got him onboarding. So my point is, work together. Realize what they've done over the last couple years isn't going to stop. This is just the beginning of a logistical game plan, which could be building up into the October 1st release of the Shemitah. And again, they'll sell it as a good thing. Oh, no, it's good we're wiping the debts clean. We can't pay any of them back. Oh, yeah, it's for the students. No, it's not. It's for the bankers that aren't going to get paid because the students don't have jobs. Because America has basically positioned itself as an upside-down pyramid Ponzi scheme where the younger generations don't have the money and a lot of the times even the will to support the nanny state. And so they're going to change the rules because there are no rules. This is a dictate. So people ask me, Christopher, how do you reset the system? Easy. When you're in charge, you do whatever you want. Understand the truth about how this world works. It ain't fair. Just like 2008-09 wasn't fair. Just like the last couple of years wasn't fair. Just like this debt jubilee on student loans isn't fair. Just like the Shemitah is not going to be a fair event. But look at it as an opportunity and realize this is your pivot point. What else are you going to do? So you can choose to be normal, live a, moderate, boring, uneventful, regretful life, Or you can do what I do. Go to the freaking moon, baby! Those the freaking X, baby! And you can help us build the number one blockchain in the world, islandproject.com. Links below. 1000x all of you. Not financial advice. My name's Christopher Greene. Read my terms and disclaimers on my website. I'm not an investment advisor. I'm just a dude that got super rich early and is now pivoting into the largest disruption in world history. Signing off from beautiful Maui Boo. I love you, and I look forward to talking to the next 25 of you that quickly subscribe. Make sure you click that button and get in now.